Zelda Drunken Homies. I'm Austin.
I am Kevin.
And we are going to be bringing you a drunk tank about Surge to Victory.
Surging to victory!
Yeah! Because I'm obsessed with big red spells.
Sport ball. Because that's what they're doing in the card, right? They're doing sport ball things?
It's so sports ball. I love it. Like, I don't even know why Magic and football needed to happen together, but this is the card I'm happy it did.
I don't think it's football. Or soccer. Or whatever other
Okay, it's like,
sport.
it's magical rugby.
Yeah, okay.
So, Kevin, would you like to read what Surge to Victory says?
Yeah, Surge to Victory is a sorcery for 4 generic and double red. It says, exile a target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Creatures you control get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost.
I love this card.
I'm gonna get this out of the way.
Okay, fine.
It's really good with extra combat spells. We get it.
Trample, double strike. You know, the works.
I almost want to discount the extra combat spells and extra turn spells because it's just it's so easy. You're like, oh, what if I cast this extra combat spells every time I hit someone?
Like, there are a few super spicy ones. Don't get me wrong, but we'll mention the specific spicy ones when we get to the topic. I have a few that you'll probably appreciate. All right. So, yeah, the honorable mentions are creatures with double strike, trample, evasion, all that shit. But first on the list, let's start with extra turns. Extra turns are pretty much, par for the course. The red extra turn spells are really hard to do because you need Sundial of the Infinite or Obeka, something that can end the turn. Otherwise, you just die. And, I don't have a problem with that if you don't mind suiciding on when you play Magic.
Like, it's probably fine. If you're playing like Obeka, it's easy. You have access to it very easily. It's not a big deal. It's in your command zones. You can definitely pull that kind of thing off. Exactly. And we got a new extra turn spell in red with Cleave. Yeah. I don't think you can cleave it. I don't have Cleave in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's cast from hand because that sounds really stupid otherwise. I'm
pretty sure you have Cleave is like the similar to Overload that you have to cast it hard. You have to choose which version you're doing.
You guys watching right now have the card in front of you. You can pause the video and read it and tell us if we're wrong.
I like being wrong because it means you guys will comment on the video.
Content.
Alright, so I have some fun ones, like other than the red spells, which, if you wanted to do Surge to Victory extra turn in mono red, you'd need the Sundial of the Infinite. But one of my favorites is Temporal Extortion, which is quadruple black for a sorcery that says, take an extra turn after this one. Any player may pay half their life to negate the effect, or counter the effect.
Counter the spell, I think is what the official word said.
Yeah.
But,
I think that was a fun one because all it takes is for you to hit them with like 3 creatures, and then they just have to like look at you and really think, is this worth it?
So I'm your feet on this one. I actually don't think it's that good because it says pay half your life.
Round it up.
It does say round it up.
It does say
but
round it up.
You probably have. I guess you get hit like by 6 creatures, you're probably dead anyways.
I mean, it's +4/+0.
Yeah.
Because remember, this is an overrun with plus sides.
It does say that. It does give pluses.
Which is why we're going to talk about a lot of the biggest spells in Magic.
I'm still medium on it, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. Round up.
I think it's more spicy than most other extra turn spells.
Yes. Extra turn spells are boring. This is probably the more interesting one, but still. Bonus, it's not getting bonus points to be an extra turn. It's actually getting minus points in my book.
Okay, fair.
Sorry, Temporal Extortion. Even though you're quadruple black and from Flight or Chaos.
Alright, I have a list of some other ones, like Alrund's Epiphany because it gives you birdies, Expropriate because it's huge, and Temporal Trespass because it's 11, I think. But then we also have Time Stretch.
That classic.
12. It's 12, right? Or 10. It's huge. It's a really big spell, and you could probably kill someone with 3 creatures using it. Alright. Next up. We've got Looting Spells and Big Draw. I like Seagate Restoration.
Okay.
That one's pretty freaking huge, and it draws you your entire deck and gives you no maximum hand size for the rest of the game, something like that.
Yes, it does say that. My favorite part about the card is if it's early game, it's just a land.
Mm-hmm.
I love MDFCs. I think, in particular, the Zendikar ones, they, unfortunately, as I tell him, particularly, he plays all of them in his mono red deck. egregiously. Like, I guess it makes sense, but if you're disciplined enough to play them as your land drop all the time, they're perfect. And Secret Restoration fits that as both a early land drop we need it, or with Search Victory, it just kills people.
Yep. And if you have anything that lets you sacrifice your lands or destroy lands, then you can put it in your graveyard to use later. Big brain. Big brain. I also have looting spells on here because just in general, looting spells let you fill up your yard. Anything that lets you discard it, so cycling also fits here. And there's a lot of huge cycling cards. Like, what was the cycle? Not the decree cycle. The decree cycle.
There's the black one, the red one, and the white one I somehow remember, and then the other ones.
There's a big green one, too.
Well, they're in all colors. Yeah. I don't know what they do. I know the blue one makes people have depletion counters, and then they stop playing Magic forever.
Another one that I want to touch on in terms of big drop is Enter the Infinite.
A classic.
Because, that thing is 12.
My favorite thing about Enter the Infinite is, so the first time you cast it, you draw your whole entire deck, put one back, and your Search its Victory, it's a great time. Then when you cast it again, you draw your entire deck of one card, and you put it back.
Unless you can instant speed respond with some card in your deck that lets you shuffle your hand into your library.
Well, you can put a different card back.
You could put a different card back. Maybe when you have 12 of them on a stack after you hit people, you can repeatedly go, this one, I want this one instead. It's like spinning Sensei's Divining Top 3 times at the end of your turn because you forgot what was on top.
Alright. Number 3, mill cards. If you just want to end, if you want to stop other people from just, having turns, you just mill them out. Some of my favorites that I actually put on the list, where did I put them? Startled Awake, because that's 13 cards. So you kill someone if you hit them with, 6 creatures with that? Not to mention it's already a 5 CMC card, I think.
Yes, and it transforms into a creature, which is one of the more wild transform cards we've seen.
And that makes it easy to put in your graveyard, too. Fractured Sanity. Oh, Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Does that exile?
No, it mills until you hit a CMC total of 20.
Oh, right, that's what it does. They keep printing all these mill cards, which in Modern is a fun deck that exists now, which is kind of weird to say.
There's Modern Mill?
Modern Mill's a thing. It's, really good.
That might get me back into Modern.
That's for a different show, then.
We're EDH.
Actually, I want to go back to looting. I think something that's really interesting with looting is you don't have to cast a spell you want to. I believe I want to make sure I'm reading Search the Victory right, but
you do cast the copy, which I have a whole nother category for.
Yeah. So it says exile target instant sorcery in your graveyard. So you can just cast Faithless Looting, bend this huge thing like Enter the Infinite, and then just cast Search Victory and exile Enter the Infinite. Didn't have to cast it at all. Get the value out of it anyways.
Exactly. One of my favorite cards that helps you bin is Anja Falconwrath.
Miss Angie Falconwrath, the Madness one.
Oh yeah, she loves this card. And you can always mill yourself. Like, don't feel hard about that. You can Thassa's Oracle to win at that rate.
Wait, you can mill others? Look, I have a character deck. All I do is dredge.
Exactly.
I didn't realize you milled other people. That's I don't understand.
Damn Spike players. Wait, I'm a Spike player. Oh.
Feels bad.
Next up. Oh yeah. Burn. Anything that burns each opponent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have 3 opponents. Anything that says each opponent is worth putting there. So I like to think of what did I put on here? Treacherous Terrain, Crackling Doom. The big stuff.
I have one I want to add because it specifically works well with Search the Victory. Chandra's Ignition. Because
they all hit at the same time, for one thing.
So Chandra's Ignition makes your things bigger. It deals damage to all of your opponent's faces and their creatures, so you have a clear path to hit people. And then when you do, you get to copy it a bunch of times.
Yep, and it gives them +5/+0, so they all minimum hit for at least 6. If you're not using like a Birds of Paradise or whatever.
But they all just die.
Imagine killing someone with a Birds of Paradise with a Chandra's Ignition latched onto it. Eat your heart out, Cawblade.
If you really don't remember the days of Cawblade, you had Birds and Swords of Feast and Famine on them, and sort of body and mind actually destroying people.
I love it.
Oh, God.
The biggest burn spell I could find in the game was Volcanic Salvo. It only burns creatures and planeswalkers, but...
That's like 12 mana, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the big but.
That's a big one.
And it costs less to cast... Oh, actually, I have it up right here. It costs less to cast for each power among creatures you control. Yes. Josh in the back.
End the Festivities is 1 red for a sorcery that says End the Festivities deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature or planeswalker they control. It's 1 red.
For each, and each?
It's brand new. It just came out.
That's like Vicious Rumors in red.
Yeah, we got spoiled yesterday.
Oh, that's why we didn't know about it.
That's why it's not on the list. But it's
okay. Wait, it's just 1 mana, 0 out of 10. I want to shoot for the stars.
You see, Vicious Rumors is also on the list later for a different, category of card. No.
If you're playing Surge to Victory and exiling a 1-drop, something has gone terribly wrong.
But what if that 1-drop has a million effects?
It's 1 mana, +1/+0, you can do better than that.
But come on, Vicious Mockery on tokens? Imagine swinging with 20 tokens and you Vicious Mockery everyone. Wait, did I say Vicious Mockery? Vicious Rumors. I'm D&D on the brain.
We were talking about a D&D card, Teshar's Hideous Laughter. It makes sense.
Alright, next up, I have Clone Spells.
Clone Spells?
Clone Spells. Anything that clones permanents.
Oh, so not like actual clone, but like Rite of Replication?
Yeah, Rite of Replication type jank. Because if you have any kind of ridiculous ETB creature on the board, say what's a good burn ETB trigger?
Okay, so you can just shoot someone in the face?
Yeah, anything that does that, anything that I don't know, I guess you could copy your Terrasses on a bunch.
That is a way to do it. That does in fact do the thing.
What's another good ETB? Peregrine Drake, I guess.
Any creature in the ETB is just
really
good.
You just Gary.
Yep, done. We did it.
There we won Magic, everybody.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything you can do with a gutter snipe. You should
I guess you could dual cast a mage.
Oh no!
You clone the dual caster mage, and now you have a bunch of other stuff on the stack.
No, gutter snipe does work. So let's say.
Oh yeah, because they're casted copies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, spellcraft and spellcraft effects works here.
We found another way to break Janus Mog and Witherbloom Apprentice.
Yeah, I was. That's actually the. Oh no, skip one. The next one's different, but we can talk about it now, I guess. Spellcraft triggers and copy spell loops. Because guess what? If you put a copy spell underneath the victory, and you have a dual caster mage or an Narset's reversal in hand, you can copy it to copy all the rest and get infinite loop triggers like that.
And then everyone dies.
Everyone loses, everyone wins, or you get an infinite number of spellcraft triggers.
And I don't think there's a single spellcraft trigger that's bad. Ours is Witherbloom Apprentice that nugs everyone for one, but you can make a bunch of treasure. Stormfield Artist is like the Boros one, or the Lorehold one that makes a bunch of spirits.
The one that makes a bunch of elementals. There's one that just straight up draws you cards.
Well, that one might kill you.
Okay. No, that one would probably win you the game if you're building for it, because I think that Izzet and Rakdos are the best 2 colors to abuse with specifically Search to Victory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
100%.
If you're really feeling it, Grixis Search to Victory. Marchesa?
Hey, Obeka, so you can add a turn and play its extra turns.
Oh, true. And Jaleva. Ooh, Jaleva.
Ooh, another one.
She's got flying.
You should play Centris. You can under the entire yard, and then you search victory, and you have the surprise punch.
So I'm just gonna throw my my Dragon Mage, I guess, into the graveyard and reanimate it in the Surge to Victory.
If you talk about Dragon Mage and other wheel effects, you just play Nekuzar. I don't know. I think you take any sort of Grixis way, you shove it in, you'll probably be fine.
Maybe Grixis is just really mean. I'm starting to think that Grixis is mean, guys.
Is it? It's probably fine. it's only the hallmark card of Cruel Ultimatum.
He said, "Is it?"
Yes, thank you.
It's in Grixis.
Demir
mention makes me chuckle.
This is grueling.
That's not in Grixis. Get
yeah,
out.
You're thing.
I regret nothing.
Look, I think you should make a Grixis deck of Ludovic, the partner one, with Prismatic Piper. You would be fine. You don't care. You'll just kill people with Surge Victory anyway. Prismatic Piper will just get big and punch him. You can kill someone with Prismatic Piper Commander damage for the first time ever.
I'm in it. I'm in for it. Let's do it. Alright, next category. It's technically like 3 categories, but I count them all in this type of vein. Free spells, free permanents, and steal spells.
So you should like play blatant favor. It's like take your opponent's everything.
You can steal, like, they just printed a card that lets you, like, exile the top card of your opponent's library. It's like a black version of Surge to Victory. It's in the red-black commander deck they just printed for Crimson Vow.
It's on the screen, because we don't remember the name, but someone after this shoot won't remember.
I will probably be the one editing this, so, you know, I'll put it up.
Future you.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck me, future me. But, free permanent spells are one of the best ways to do this. You could do Rishkar's Expertise and get free spells from your hand to your opponents. Anything that involves rolling dice, flipping coins, or exchanging permanents.
Yeah, so rolling dice is easily my favorite. It's like, roll a dice to do a thing? What if you did that 100 times?
I just want to note that we almost killed Josh because he was drinking when I said that.
Flipping coins is also a good one, though that's not as new because you have the Ukumen, the partisan battle bond that flip a bunch of coins.
Oh, true.
That's,
you can get.
that's kind of.
Isn't there a card that just says flip a coin?
I don't think so. I think there's always an effect. I don't think there's a 0 mana flip the coin. The end.
Yeah, but then you have things like Reckless Endeavor, which is just like roll 2d12, something like that, and it's just like, yeah, that like the entire. Honestly, the D&D set gave us so many great cards that would just make the table look at you like, I didn't come here to roll craps.
I do have another category of cards, which I would consider more of a number, but it's really funny.
Alright.
Any of the packs from Future Sight that cost 0 mana.
You could win the game with Summoner's Bag. Straight up. Any 2-card combo with Summoner's Bag.
Like, here's the thing. If you don't, and it comes back to next turn, you have to pay, like, 50 mana on your upkeep, or you lose.
Unless you're a Platinum Agent.
Oh, yeah, sure, I guess.
You know, the one exception to the rule.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's very funny for me to think about that.
Are there any other cards that make you just straight up lose
Alright,
the
you know what?
game?
I just lied. There is a way to abuse this. The classic Hive Mind combo. Typically, Hive Mind is used in like 60...
God, Hive Mind just says when you cast.
Yeah, so typically Hive Mind, you make your opponent try to pay for an effect, but they can't pay the mana cost because they're not red color, they lose the game. Commander, people have over multicolored decks.
Yep.
But if you make them cast Summer's Pact 50 times, what are they gonna do?
Oh, they're gonna get all the creatures. Oh wait, it only gets you green creatures.
Only gets you green creatures. Or you can cast like Intervention Pact. I don't even know what it does. It's the white one. It's terrible. But again, they have to
I think
pay.
it gains you life.
Or damage. It's bad.
It's bad. It's always bad.
If they have to pay like 50 white mana, I don't think decks can do that. And if you're playing white, you can't ramp, so you definitely can't pay it.
Unless they can do infinite mana, instant speed in the next turn.
At that point, they got us. Like,
yeah,
and then we'll lose because
we won't have mana.
You can't do that 50
They just have to survive that one upkeep.
Wait, I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
How does Knowledge Pool work with this?
I don't want it. I don't want it, Kevin. Knowledge Pool. Oh.
Is Knowledge Pool cast from hand specifically, or is Knowledge Pool cast from?
You know, we have the tech. Whenever a player casts a spell,
thank God,
it says hand. I was about to have a heart attack.
Thank God for that.
But yeah, that's a good one. Another good one that I wanted to mention was the Great Aurora. If you just want to see people pick up and scoop, that's in the same vein because it's like up there with Thieves Auction and Warp World.
Thieves Auction isn't as bad. We should just like writing numbers down. But
No,
this
no! Don't you dare ever do Thieves Auction to me on a freaking Surge to Victory. I will cry, scoop, and walk home.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's not as bad as. Please shuffle your deck 12 times and put your things into play, only to have it not matter, so you do it 11 more times.
Yep. You know, there's some really rude things you can do with this spell. And then, you know, of course, stealing things from your opponent. Like, when what's the one? Commandeer? No, Commandeer takes...
That's 6 spells. How just bribery? Just take every creature out of their deck.
What's the artifact one?
Oh, it's on the screen. It exists. It's from, Alara, I believe.
Yeah,
Specimen something. I don't know. It's on the screen.
Yeah, I'll find it. But yeah, taking everything from your opponents also sounds like a good time.
Hold on. Does that card, does it say take an artifact from...
Search target player's library for an artifact. Acquire.
It is acquire.
It's acquire, yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't work with Microsoft Lattice. I was thinking
No.
it would now. Microsoft Lattice only
Microsoft
fix
Lattice
things
is only,
in play.
yeah, it's not the library. Has to be revealed to the table.
0 out of 10.
Yep.
That's okay. Microsoft Lattice is a bad card, right, kids? For those who's banned in Modern, because the card's dumb.
It is very dumb. It is very dumb. Alright. Last effect. Multi-effect spells, modal spells, and aftermath spells. / double spells. Because, fun fact about any spell that has 2 cards on the same side. Both CMCs count.
Yep.
I think the highest one in the game...
I think it's breaking and entering is the highest one. Because it used to be a Modern...
It's technically one from an unset,
Yeah, okay,
but it's Rags to Riches or Commit to Memory.
Oh, those are new ones. There was a deck in Modern that did the breaking and entering thing, just like killed people and then they fixed it.
Other fun ones in the multi effect spells are we have ultimatums, magma opus.
Yep, that's a good one.
Actually all of the ones from that set are really nice because they have 2 mana, discard it, make a treasure.
Oh yeah, they're very flexible cards.
Yeah, like early game you can just chuck them in the yard. Honorable mentions are gonna be Worldfire.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that.
And Stormherd.
Stormherd's really good because if you can cast Stormherd and then you X out Search of Victory, then you have 30-ish Pegasi.
You could have 10 life and still just hey, I have Perforos.
Oh yeah, Perforos kills people. As it turns out.
Token producers generally will put you there. You have to worry about what's it called, board wipes. But
just give them haste, you'll be fine. You're playing Perforos, you're playing red. Come on.
Okay, fair.
You there's Hammer Perforos, there's Fervor, there's other ones I'm forgetting about because they're not as good.
Yeah. But I think those are the best spells to put underneath. Another thing I wanted to point out about double spells is you have to pick one. You can't use any of the aftermath ones because they have to be cast from the graveyard. But if it's a double spell, you can only cast one. But the CMC, it's the combined CMC, and some of the bigger ones can get up to about 12.
Yes.
I don't think there's any instance or sorceries in the game that are above. Oh, I guess we have to mention the most honorable of mentions is the highest CMC spell in the game, or instant sorcery in the game, which is Blink Moth Infusion.
It has text, you don't care.
It's 14 mana.
It's 14 mana. Actually, Eureka decks in a CDH play that card just because it's 14 mana, completely crush your opponent's head in, and then you never cast it.
Oh, I guess, yeah, we could also mention 0 mana spells, because usually those require suspend and have ridiculous effects. Glimpse of Tomorrow.
Because on the flip side, because normally you're trying to exile things to, make the people huge and punch them. Or you could cast a Wheel of Fate 7 times. Or Ancestral Visions for 20 plus cards.
And if somebody happens to be dredging themselves, they might just die.
Or Restore Bound 6 times because you hate people.
Because this is the fun part about Search. You just cast the spell. If you kill somebody and you hit them with all your creatures, those spell triggers still go on the stack even though that person died, so your other opponents have to deal with the effects.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I like Surge to Victory. It has a lot of versatility.
I have one question for you. Have you ever seen or played with a Surge to Victory?
Yes, I have. And the card I put underneath the Surge, let me remember. I have used Chandra's Ignition before. That one's sweet. But one of my favorites is Peer into the Abyss. Because it says anything that says half rounded up can kill people.
Well, that does target players, doesn't it?
It does target players. And they can also technically draw out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it draws them half their library rounded up.
So I haven't personally seen a Surge to Victory cast in a game that I've been in.
Okay.
But I imagine if it's being cast, someone's dying. By someone, it probably is me.
Yeah. I feel like you're not much one for an overrun kind of endgame.
No, not typically.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I at least had a couple overrun decks, but not a while.
It has been quite a while since I've seen you pull an overrun, but
I'll give one last honorable mention with this effect. Any sort of damage doublers you have, and
yeah, that'll do it.
Like you're just Hellsblade of Golden Knights. You're the Dictator of the Splitting Gods.
Yep.
There's the tripling one from the most recent core set, I believe.
Yep.
Or Yeah, the most recent core set, not the thing you set the set before.
Okay.
Also, just the idea of like having like red replication on Gisela and like avoiding the legend rule somehow.
That's totally doable.
Though I think at that point it's less a Surge of Victory winning as
It's
opposed to
totally
you
Gisela.
doing the other things with the other cards.
Okay, this is actually my last honorable mention. This one is charms and modal spells. I mentioned them earlier, but my God, anything that says choose, ugh.
You can choose the different modes.
A Tarka's command says 3 damage to each opponent. Fiery Confluence, 3 damage to each opponent. Also, it's 4 mana.
It's 6 damage to each opponent. Yeah, it's 6.
Oh, because you get to choose 2.
Well, it's 2 damage to each opponent.
Yep. Anything that lets you choose multiple anything. What's the blue one that lets you copy a spell or like counter a spell?
Archmage's Charm, I believe.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but like, yeah, charms and confluences and all those other ones.
Just the flexibility of being able to cast, for example, Cryptic Command. Early game to counter your spell, and the Guardian card, you gotta do what you gotta do. The later game, you can exile it, attack someone, and then you can tap all the creatures and draw cards that are bouncing things. Modal cards are very flexible, and I really like that a lot.
Yeah. So, hey, if you've ever played with Surge to Victory, drop it down below in how did you win. If you haven't, how would you win?
You know, I have one more honorable mention I just thought of.
Oh, of course.
Fling. Because your creatures get bigger, you cast a bunch, you fling your entire board into someone else's forehead.
Huh. I didn't even think about things that sacrifice the creatures and do stuff based on their power. That is dope. Hey, Josh. You got anything you'd put under a Surge?
Willfire.
We said that already. Try again.
Hit me.
2 Willfires.
Another Wildfire.
Spelltwine. That seems like a good one.
Spelltime's a good one.
Okay.
That's a lot of.
Why Surge to Victory 1 card when you can Surge to Victory many different cards?
Why do 1 card when many do trick?
Oh, that was the other one. Anything that switches life totals.
Why are you like this?
Okay, hey. We have a Discord. We have a YouTube. We got Instagram. We got Twitter. Come talk to us. We love to see your spice. Now, it's all probably going to be down in the comments. Oh, yeah. We also have a Patreon. And if you really like what we do, and you want to be our sugar daddies and our mommies, please, you can join us for just $1, and we have a bunch of Patreon exclusive stuff. So, you know,
you can get
I'm here for it.
You can get commission. You can get put in the commission queue. Josh does altars every Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to get some super sweet foil pool altars or questionable other altars,
Like a kick in the dick?
you can get them. You can sign up for Patreon and get sneaking into that queue.
So, anyway, thanks for tuning in and listening to us rant about our favorite cards to put into Surge to Victory. And remember, untap,
Upkeep.
drink. Cheers. Alright. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I hope you surge to victory at some point in your life.